Guys, today we're going to be giving you our Lightfall Prep guide. Now, this is for the final 2 weeks of this season, meaning today's guide is going to be taking advantage of things like double XP, double loot, which is going on this week for Grandmaster Nightfalls. We're also going to be giving some clarification on the materials that are going away, most notably weapon crafting materials, because I know we did get a blog post, but again, it is still somewhat confusing. Again, all of this will be time-stamped down below, but first, let's talk about seasonal content. All seasonal vendors are leaving, meaning things like armor, titles, triumphs, which are offered from these seasons, will be deprecated. So if you're looking to finish out those seals that you want done and complete before Lightfall, you can actually use the Braid Tech website to track how many of these you finish. This includes things like Moments of Triumph 2022. You can get that done if you haven't already. Also, you can claim everything that you haven't picked up from the season pass. And these are previous season passes, which is like a free way of really topping off all your materials. Second, I want to talk about Artifice Armor. Now, we're already pretty much past the point of farming Artifice Armor. I know we had Kaido this past week. Artifice Armor is getting a major change next season, where the mod slot will instead just allow you to slot a mod that gives you +3 to any stat that you want: strength, resilience, recovery, etc. Now, this is actually 15 in total if it's across 5 different pieces of armor. Granted, most of us rock an exotic, so it's only 12. Now, I'm not gonna say Artifice Armor is something you need to kill yourself over. I personally think that it's a great way to top off your stats if you're looking to get that coveted tier 10 and multiple stats. The only way you can get Artifice Armor right now consistently is just to farm Spire of the Watcher, do it in master mode. This is by far not the quickest. It's harder to get the one phase down. Again, Kaido was much easier, as doing a one phase on her is much more manageable with a variety of different weapons. But if you are looking to get Artifice Armor from now until then, go ahead. Granted, even though it is +3, and that's nice and all, at the same time, I don't think you need to kill yourself for Artifice Armor. It's nice, but not necessary. Whereas now, considering that Artifice literally allows you to slot on extra mods, that to me is way more beneficial. But that's being removed next season. This is just going to be simply stat bumps. Still good, but not like crazy meta. Now, moving on. Upgrade materials. This is very important for a variety of reasons, guys. You don't want to be starting a new season, especially an annual expansion, without any upgrade materials. I know we have the season pass, but you'll be surprised how quickly you run out of those materials. Now, upgrade modules are a necessity. They're going to be a necessity now, and unless Bungie removes them, they're still going to be a necessity. You can only max out at 25, but you can farm them in any playlist activity with actually the modularity ghost mod. Gamut, Crucible, Strikes. Literally, guys, this is a passive way, and I wish the drop rates were higher, but this is a great passive way to farm upgrade modules if you're just playing the game already. And like we just brought up a second ago about claiming all your rewards from past seasons. Remember, guys, upgrade modules are part of those rewards. So if you have any available in your past seasons, go to that link that we have down below, click it, go to those past seasons. You can literally click the past season and claim those rewards. Upgrade modules may be a part of that for you. Now, you may not need to power level as much next season, but you're definitely going to want to masterwork all that new gear you're going to get next season, which is why you want to stock up on Ascendant Shards, Enhancement Prisms, all that good stuff, guys. Master and Grandmaster Nightfalls are really the best farm for these materials, and it's almost like a trickle-down effect because everything from Enhancement Cores to Legendary Shards, all these things just rain whenever you have double Nightfall rewards, which is going on this week with Glassway. Now, I know Glassway is not the easiest strike, but I can tell you right now, fellas, it is substantially easier than what it used to be with the right build. I even have a Glassway build specifically for this for Sentinel Titans. You can easily lock in sub 20-minute runs, and that's sub 20-minute runs of double loot. So if you're looking to top off Glimmer, Enhancement Cores, upgrade modules with that Ghost mod, Ascendant Shards, Enhancement Prisms, this is the way to go. Now, D.F.A is the drop this week, and that weapon is going away. We did an entire loot warning video going over all the weapons that are leaving and all the roles I suggest you get. D.F.A is not necessarily one that you need to kill yourself over, but it is going away. So you may want to consider getting that opening shot perpetual motion roll for my PvP players out there. And for my PvE players, you've got things like Vorpal Weapon, Outlaw, Triple Tap. It's also a kinetic weapon, which is going to be doing even more damage next season. It comes with things like Vanguard's Vindication, Stunning Recovery. Again, not the most meta weapon out there, but still a very, very good weapon. And I'm actually curious about how timed payload works inside of PvE next season after the kinetic changes, considering payload perks do extra damage inside of PvE. So how is that going to translate to the increase in kinetic damage next season? Probably even better. By the way, if you're doing Grandmaster Nightfalls or looking to do Grandmaster Nightfalls this week, we will be over on our Twitch. We will be doing runs with you if you're interested. I know some of you have actually redeemed Grandmaster runs through our channel. Keep in mind though, though, Wendigo is coming next week. It won't be double loot, which is unfortunate. It will be double XP though, or however much XP it's going to be, but not double loot. You definitely want to get Wendigo though. As with the grenade launcher buffs coming next season, Wendigo is going to be a monster. By the way, Warden of Nothing is the Nightfall next week. So guys, again, top off those materials. Master and Grandmaster Nightfalls would be perfect for you. Now moving into crafting materials. Here is the rundown. The Relic Tether, which holds our resonant elements, will be going away at the start of Lightfall, while Harmonic Alloys, which are alloys that drop from raid weapons being destroyed or dismantled, and Resonant Alloys, which drops from regular weapons being dismantled, will be remaining until Season of the Deep, which is Season 21, which is after Season of Defiance, which is next season. Which means, in regards to resonant elements, guys, you want to spend them. They're literally going away. I know some of you right now are like, yo, I've got 10,000 resonant elements. I'm ready, Lightfall. Bring it on. Guys, please, for the love of God, spend those things. They're literally going away. You will lose them all next season. So if you have weapons to craft, perks to swap, literally anything you want to top off that consumes resonant elements, spend them. Now, with that being said, Harmonic Alloys, Resonant Alloys, Ascendant Alloys, I would still keep a healthy amount in your inventory. You don't need to be topped off, but a healthy amount, which we're going to talk about those materials a little more in just a minute. Legendary Shards, Glimmer, and Enhancement Cores will be required for shaping weapons in Lightfall alongside Ascendant Alloys. So again, Harmonic Alloys, Resonant Alloys, still going to be part of the cost and the initial cost of making a weapon, and I'm sure that's still going to be tied to the intrinsic of the weapon, but everything is migrating here to Legendary Shards, Glimmer, and Enhancement Cores. By the way, a lot of people just forget that this is a thing in the game. Public events though, especially heroic public events, drop healthy amounts of Glimmer. If you're ever looking to top off Glimmer, go do some public events, most notably heroic public events. Now, when it comes to topping off Ascendant Alloys, I wish Bungie would allow these things to drop in other activities, but currently the best ways to get them is Master Mode Wellspring, which is actually an uncommon drop, but still drops frequently enough. Also, the weekly Witch Queen mission on Master, which is actually a common drop for Ascendant Alloys. Now, I personally think the best week for that was actually a few weeks ago for the mission called the Ghost. That's a pretty fast mission, and again, it was a common drop. I got like 6 Ascendant Alloys in a row. It was fantastic. Granted, some of you even commented on that video and said, Cross, these things are not dropping. RNG, man, it's a fickle thing. But if you're looking to get a squad to run Master Mode Wellspring, which in my opinion is still good drop rates, come by our Discord. We have LFGs. It's split between console players and PC players, or if you don't care, you can literally just play with everybody. You don't have to talk, you don't have to chat, unless you absolutely want to. But in the least, you can get a squad of people that are running Master Mode Wellsprings, and you can start topping off these Ascendant Alloys. Now, speaking of materials, let's talk about Planetary Materials. Now, I know most of you already know these things have been on their way out, but they are getting fully deprecated in Lightfall. So you won't even be able to sell any that's in your inventory or vault for Glimmer, which is why you need to spend those now. Dude, personally, I am dragging on this. I still have Planetary Materials in my inventory, but I'm going to use this next few weeks to farm out like mad and spend those babies, because you might as well. Now, to acquire more Enhancement Cores, you can put a core mod on your Ghosts. This will actually allow you to acquire more Enhancement Cores from completing playlist activities. Now, clarification on enhancing raid weapons in Lightfall. This will require Spoils of Conquest. These are actually rewarded for completing raid encounters, which is why I do suggest having a healthy supply of spoils on you. The Daughter's encounter in King's Fall is actually considered to be one of the best spoil farms in the game. Granted, I think they actually ended up changing this encounter a little bit, so if someone can please let me know down below if this is still the best spoils farm in the game. Now, I do want to mention you don't really need to worry about power leveling before Lightfall, because the legendary campaign will set you up to be close to raid ready. So really, one of the best ways to get ahead in Lightfall is just to complete the legendary campaign. Now, if it's similar to Witch Queen, you will be constantly challenged as well as rewarded with higher power gear, upgrade materials, as well as the new exotic armor piece at the end. We will be making a guide on what builds we're going to be using for all classes going into the legendary campaign, because yes, that campaign will put the hurt on you if you are not rocking the right stuff. Granted, we have this idea that we're going to go in there with our current builds, but considering this is about Lightfall and literally losing our light to some capacity and obtaining Strand, I would assume this destroys our current builds. Now, does that mean Heart of Inmost Light won't be good with Strand? No, not at all, which is why we made an entire video of exotics looking to synergize very nicely with Strand. So again, in our build guide for the legendary campaign, we are going to detail exactly what we're going to be using, whether it's Strand or our current subclasses. Now, moving on to my favorite section, bounty farming. You know you love it. Another season's in and another round of dedicating time to hoarding bounties. Now, we have a full bounty guide that hasn't really changed much at all since we made it, that goes over all the bounties you want to prioritize and which ones you want to ignore to ensure you get the best return of XP when Lightfall launches. Now, you can speed up the process by unlocking artifact bonuses as soon as possible. The short of it is prioritize weekly bounties. Now, I know we're in the final 2 weeks, so good luck with that, but you can pick them up there from the companion app. But Shalhan has weekly bounties, Eris Morn, this includes the Lectern of Enchantment, Starhorse, Hawthorne, Varix, Petra. These weekly bounties, guys, give you a chunk of XP. Highly suggest getting those on all 3 characters and completing them. You don't have to do this. This is just for my hardcore players that are like, yo, I want to get ahead day 1. Now, you can also do daily bounties while you're at each one of these vendors. So again, from your companion app, you can pick up all the daily bounties. And I'm literally showing you right now, go to the companion app, go to each vendor, pull it out, baby. You can literally doing it while you're jumping from activity to activity. Now, I would not really bother with repeatable bounties because honestly, guys, the XP gains from them are just bad. But you can get daily bounties from every vendor every day. Hence why they're called daily bounties. Now, do not store seasonal bounties of any kind, as they will disappear when season 20 begins. Now, you can also go to destinyrecipes.com if you're looking to get super serious about this, and it will give you a full list of all bounties you need to collect. If you want to keep track of your bounties, you can link your account and fill out whatever you're missing. But final note, make sure when you go to turn in bounties after Lightfall is out, you have the Blinding Light Ghost mod equipped, and preferably somebody on your team that has already done leveled up a little bit. Always let somebody go out there and sacrifice themselves, as you can get XP gains from the season pass depending on how much you've ranked up, and this transfers from your fire team members. Now, this Ghost mod gives you 12% extra XP. This stacks on with the extra bonus XP from your fire team members. So again, bounty farming, companion app, Destiny recipes if you want to go the extra mile. Pick up those weekly bounties, guys. You can at least get 2 weeks of bounties across 3 different characters. All those weekly bounties will give you a chunk of experience. Which takes me to the final section of this video, weapon patterns. Guys, Bungie recently put out a hotfix that allows you to obtain daily deep sights from season 16 through 19 vendors, which is at the helm. So you do want to take advantage of this if you're looking to catch up on weapon patterns that you might not have finished back when they released within their given season. On top of that, all Umbral energy from those seasons are being deprecated when Lightfall drops. So you really do want to spend those, guys. That includes Risen Umbral energy, Opulent energy, Plundered energy, Seraph energy, and the vendors in the helm will also be going away, so you won't actually be able to interact with Crown of Sorrow, Rasputin, Psyops, War Table, and the star charts or obtain any more items or rewards from them. Now, we'll also mention raid deep sight drops were also buffed, but the remaining feature raids for the last 2 weeks before Lightfall don't have deep sight drops for those weapons, which I know is super unfortunate. Deepstone Crypt won't even be available to farm until after Lightfall hits, but that alongside King's Fall should be farmable come Lightfall, or at least whenever it's back in rotation. So again, guys, everything tied there to those materials, spend them, get those weapon patterns. We did a loot warning video as well. I talked about it earlier. I'm gonna bring it up again. If you're looking to just kind of get a general sense of what roles I'm looking for on all those crafted weapons, and I literally go through all of them, feel free to check out that video. It is not the say all end all. These are just my roles, guys. So again, if you're ever interested in a more extensive review, there is a ton of other content creators out there that review weapons individually. If you're looking for a review from us specifically, just type in the name of the weapon alongside my name and it'll pull up our video. And if you don't want to do that, we have an entire playlist where we keep all our weapon reviews. I don't get to all of them. I wish I could. We get too caught up with all kinds of other stuff, but I definitely try to cover the best of the best so that you guys can jump on it before they go away. So guys, good luck. 2 weeks, baby. Nobody freak out, man. Enjoy yourself. Don't kill yourself. Do these things, kind of go about them, have fun, enjoy the activities that you're playing. Just kind of double dip where you can and then jump into Lightfall. This by no means needs to become your second job. Good Lord. Supposed to be enjoying our gaming time, right? But with that being said, some of these materials in here, you definitely want to spend, as they're going to be worthless next season when they're gone. And 2, I do advise topping off certain materials. Jump in on that Nightfall this week, guys. We've made a ton of Glassway Nightfall guides before. We'll link one of those down below. But again, the build that I'm using here is literally my Void Titan build, which I don't think I've even made a guide with. But with the Horde, with Weak and Clear, does massive damage to the boss. And again, easy sub 20-minute runs. Well, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching. And as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.